Hello, this is going to be a tutorial on how to make patterns on your Rubik's Cube. For the purpose of this tutorial, it's a really good idea to have a 5x5, 6x6, or 7x7, basically a larger cube. A 4x4 and 3x3 will work, but it's better to have one of those larger cubes. Now we are going to start out on the 3x3 so that you can get the general idea of what to do, and then we'll move on to the larger cubes. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a simple pattern, this pattern, which some people may call the donut or the dot pattern. Now a lot of people, when they make this pattern, what they do is they move the cube around. So they'll do something like this, rotate it, kind of go down, move all, this type of thing. And then they'll finally get it. But what you need to do is, to make this work, you have to be able to keep the cube in one spot the whole time. Like I did. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to learn a really easy algorithm. Now when you first start learning the cube, one of the first algorithms you learn is the right inverse, right down pattern. And this is a pattern that you use to solve the corners and such. But basically we're going to be using this algorithm on the center layers. So what's going to happen is pretend that this is the same algorithm. It's going to be, but it's going to be on the middle layer. So it's going to be the right inverse, right down. So you're doing the same moves just on different layers, and that will get you your donut pattern. Now the reason we do it that way is so that we always have the cube facing one direction. We don't have to rotate the cube around in our hands in order to get the pattern correct. Now to reverse it, all you have to do is go the opposite direction. Or you can do the same pattern 3 times. So I've done it once here to get the pattern. Do it once more, and once more to revert to the original. Or I can just go opposite. So I can start down inverse, R prime, down, right. You can also perform the algorithm from the left, like so. Basically, whatever 3 faces that you want, that's the side that you need to use. So if I want to use these 3, I'll put one on the top, one on the front, and one on the right, and I'll use the right version. If I want to use, let's just say, these 3 colors, I'll put one on the top, one on the front, and the other on the left, and use the left algorithm. Like so. Okay, so now that you have the basic idea of what we're going to do, let's move on to the larger cubes. I'm going to be demonstrating on a 7x7 because the more cubies that you have on the inside, the more patterns you can make. So the first thing we need to note is that this isn't good for only centerpieces. This pattern can be applied to any piece. So for example, let's do this tiny little corner right here. I want these 3 colors, so I'm going to put them in a circle like this, and I'm going to do the right one because I don't want to do the left one because then I'll use green. So basically I'm going to switch these corners here. Right inverse, right, down. And I've changed those dots. So it works not only for the center, but really on any of these center cubies, not just the middle one. So knowing this, you can do pretty much any pattern that you want on the front face. You just have to visualize it. Now you can continue to do each one piece by piece, or you can do entire rows. So for example, if I want this entire row right here, all I have to do is bring down that entire row and then continue on with the algorithm. Like so. So now I have an entire row. And again, to take it away, I just do the inverse, or the opposite. Or if you're not comfortable doing the opposite, you can just perform the same algorithm another 2 times. So now that you have a basic idea of moving the entire face, moving individual cubies, and moving entire rows, let's do an example. You can make anything that you can think of as long as you have enough cubies to do so. That's why it's important to have a big cube. If you do this on a 4x4, you only have 4 cubies to mess with. You can't really do a lot with that. If you have a 5x5, 6x6, or 7x7, you can make more patterns. So let's do a smiley face. Why not? So I'm going to envision my smiley face here. I'm going to make a little smile right there, and I'm going to put 2 eyes. So what I can do is, again, instead of doing each individual dot, which you can do, I'm going to do an entire row. So if I want this bottom row here, I'm going to bring down this bottom row here, like so. Now I only want that row, so I'm going to move that row out of the way, and then restore the rest of it. There. Now I want these 2 dots, because I'm trying to make the smile like this. Okay, so I'm going to get that dot and that dot. Now instead of doing them one at a time, I'm going to do them at the same time because they're on the same row. Now if I wanted to do that dot and that dot, I wouldn't be able to do that. But since these 2 are in the same row right here, I can go ahead and do it. So again, I'll bring down only the dots that I need. So in this case, that one and that one. See, because I want those 2. Move them out of the way. And then restore everything. And remember, you only pull the faces that you need. And there we go. We got the smile. Now let's go ahead and get the eyes. I'm going to put 2 eyes right here. Now again, I can do these both at the same time by doing this. Pulling down only the faces that I need and pushing over only the certain dots that I need. So I need these 4. So I'm going to move those 4 over and then restore everything. And I've just made a smiley face. Now an important thing to note when you're doing this is it's very important that you don't rotate the cube around. Because if you mess up the orientation, like even by doing this, technically it's the same 3 colors, but that can totally mess it up if you try to fix it. So you always want the same colors, the same pattern. So in this case it's white on top. Okay, so let's go ahead and reverse this a little bit. Let's start by taking away these. And again, all you do is the opposite pattern. Like so. Over. And then restore it. Let's go ahead and take out these 2 dots. Over and restore it. Okay. And then let's go ahead and take out the entire bar. And there you go. Now you have a clean cube and you can do anything you want. Just before the video ends, I'll make one more pattern and then I'll leave it up to you guys. If you guys make an interesting pattern that you think is really cool, make a video and post it as a video response to this video. Show me what kind of cool patterns that you guys came up with. Since my name is Daniel Dude 1554, I'll make a D just to show you guys a little example of some letters that you can make. So I'll make a D, and this is really all I'm going to do for the rest of the video, so you don't have to watch the rest of it. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more like it, please subscribe to my channel, or at least look at my channel. I have many cubing videos. If you have a question, comment, I'll be glad to answer. And please rate and subscribe. Okay, I'll just make this D and then I'll close out the video.